Are you new to Excel? Or do you feel overwhelmed by its formula functionality? Fear not. In this tutorial, we will go through the fundamental workings of formulas and functions in Excel. This will give you a solid base understanding from which you can build formulas of any complexity level to suit your needs.
Before we begin, we have some terminology to clarify relating to the difference between the terms formula and function. These are related, but refer to different concepts. A formula in Excel is an expression that performs calculations, manipulates data, or produces a result based on the values entered into cells. Formulas consist of mathematical operators, cell references, and functions. Formulas always begin with the equal sign. On the other hand, a function is a built-in operation that simplifies complex calculations and performs specific tasks. Let's explore formulas. As stated earlier, a formula always begins with the equal sign. From here, you can enter numbers, references, functions, and arithmetic operators as needed. The arithmetic operators are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percent, exponentiation. You can use parentheses to group numbers, references, or functions to ensure that arithmetic operators are applied in the order in which you intend. Be sure to always match your opening parenthesis with a closing one. Excel will usually point this error out to you and try and correct it, but results may vary depending on the complexity of your formula. You can edit a formula in the formula bar or from within a cell by selecting the relevant cell and pressing the F2 key or by double-clicking on the relevant cell. The real power of Excel lies in its functions. As mentioned earlier, functions are built-in operations that simplify complex calculations and perform specific tasks. Let's explore function structures and function arguments. To enter a function, insert an equal sign and then start typing the name of the function. Let's use the XLOOKUP function as an example. As you start typing, a list matching your text appears. To select a function, highlight it by navigating to it using the arrow keys or by left-clicking on it with your mouse and hit the Tab key or double left-click on it. The function is inserted and Excel creates the opening parenthesis for you. The active function name and arguments are displayed as can be seen here. Every function has its own set of arguments which are separated by a comma. If you need further help on how to use a function, simply click on the Insert Function command. This gives a short explanation of what the function does and it lists the arguments and provides a further description of each argument as you select them. This is a great way to get help on how to complete a function when you get stuck. You can also click on the function name. This opens up a help article which explains when to use the function, lists and describes the arguments, and even provides examples. Coincidentally, OT Panda has a video on how to use the XLOOKUP function and a link to that video is in the description below. Please check it out after this video. A final note is that you can also insert functions by using the Insert Function command. From here, you can search for a function or go through the list of formulas based on a category. If you do not enter all the required arguments for a function, Excel will give you a warning and take you back to the function so that you can complete all the required arguments as needed. Some arguments are optional and can be omitted. These optional arguments are represented by square brackets or by non-bolded text in the function argument screen. When working with functions, you will also need to understand what a reference and a range is. A reference is simply a cell or a range of cells in a worksheet, a different worksheet, or even a different workbook. A range is a collection of two or more cells and is defined by the reference of the upper left cell and the lower right cell, separated by a colon. References and ranges are separated by a comma. References and ranges can also be made absolute, meaning that the reference does not move or shift when you copy a formula to a new cell. To make an absolute reference, add a $sign in front of the column and/or row reference. To hold the column but have the row change, add a $sign before the column number. To hold the row but have the column change, add a $sign before the row number. To keep the column and the row, add a $sign before the column number and the row number. When in the formula or function, you can easily cycle through the absolute reference options by hitting the F4 key. When working with certain functions, comparison operators can be very useful. Here is a list of all the comparison operators in Excel. Equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to.
Thank you for watching this Excel Basics tutorial on working with formulas in Excel. If you found this tutorial helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to stay updated when a new tutorial drops. Go forth and utilize functions to add functionality to your spreadsheets. As always, happy spreadsheeting!